Hello, Taurus. Here's your reading for the next few months. These are general. Take what works and what doesn't work just doesn't work. But let's see what the cards have to say for you. So first up, you have the Knight of Wands. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles. Then you have the Two of Swords. Your challenge for the few months is the Two of Wands in reverse. And what is recommended for you is the Fool. Okay, so you guys are definitely doing something. So the Knight of Wands, to me, is indicating that you're starting the few months very confident. You're doing something or pursuing something that you feel very, very confident about, and you're kind of excited about it. You know, it's something passionate. It could be represent some type of career move or something that just even a creative project or hobby, but something that you're kind of willing to try. And this Knight, to me, he's always like, he knows he's going to hit up against some obstacles, but he's not really worried about it. Like, he's just doing it. Like, he's going. And he'll figure it out as he goes along. So it's very confident energy. It's very confident in yourself that you're capable of figuring out all the details as you go. So this is fantastic. Then you go into the Knight of Pentacles energy. And to me, for this reading, this is saying that you're now starting the grind with it. So you're now figuring out the daily details to actually achieve this goal or to get whatever this represents going. Sometimes the Knight of Pentacles, he's not really the glamorous one of the bunch as far as I'm concerned. He's the one that, okay, let's say if you're a student or you're learning about a hobby or you're doing something with your house that's going to take a little longer, and you're a handy person and you're the one doing it. So it's representing that kind of daily grind, the everyday, okay, I got to study, I got to write these papers, or let's say your hobby is plants or something that you're going to learn. You have to make the soil a certain kind of way or do whatever, plant these plants, and then you got to go out there and put the fertilizer at certain times or whatever. So that's sometimes all that is not really as glamorous. It's not as exciting, but it's the important stuff to actually get the results. So I think that you're going to be really, to me, this is really, really good. Like, to me, the Knight of Wands, he's kind of like that confident, like, I'm going to do this. And then he starts out on that journey. But the Knight of Pentacles is like really saying like, yeah, you're really, really doing what you need to get good results in the future. So this is very good. So this is all about those daily details to actually get to where you need to go. So this is excellent. But by the end of the 3 months, you're going to be having this Two of Swords energy, which is a little bit about indecision. Now, I wonder if some of you are starting to realize, because sometimes the daily grind with stuff can get a little annoying, especially depending on what it is, or you might be at the point where you're ready to almost like level something up a little bit, and now you're not entirely sure where or how to proceed forward. So something with this that you might have some kind of not really sure how you're doing the next thing or what you should do next, or if there's a way to maybe streamline results or get something to come a little quicker. So this is all about that. You might have something where you're feeling stuck and you don't know how to get the results a little bit faster for you. So, but what's challenging you for the few months is the Two of Wands in reverse. And this is a card about not really having a clear direction. So I think that you're going to get to a point where there may be something that you feel like you need to either streamline, or sometimes with the Knight of Pentacles, with these details, you might be starting to feel like you're working very hard. Sometimes with this is a lot of hard work too, and sometimes you get results, sometimes you don't get the results as quickly as you may like, but he's all about like having to do the actual thing. So I wonder if some of you will be getting to the point where you feel like you may need to streamline, or you need to do something in a way where it makes more sense to you, because it may not be as sustainable long term the way you're doing it. So I feel like you're kind of going to be figuring out all those details and kind of coming upon that. But this is definitely your challenge, is going to be feeling like you don't have direction, that you don't really know the step forward or the next thing. And definitely with the Two of Swords here, I think this is really kind of like that major energy. But what's recommended for you is the Fool. And this is saying one step at a time. This is just saying that continue on this, because the Fool is the start of a big journey. So I think this is saying whatever you're doing, just continue with it. You may not know exactly the next step forward, and that's okay, but definitely take the next step forward. So what I feel this is saying also is that, let's say with this Two of Swords, you feel stuck, you don't really know, you're indecisive, and then with the Two of Wands reversed, not really taking action, not really knowing how to go about the next thing. The Fool would be here saying that, just play around with it. Just try something. Do something. If you don't really know, just do something involving this, or try something else out, and it might help open you up, because I feel like this is a blockage energy. It's like creative blocks a little bit. It's kind of that stalemate. And I think because you went so passionately with the Knight of Wands in this, and you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is all about the kind of work ethic and the daily grind, the Fool is saying that whatever this Knight of Wands moment is for you, I definitely think it's something that you should be taking the journey on, and something you should be pursuing long term. And sometimes within that, we need to figure out how to restructure certain aspects to help it go the long term. So that's what I kind of get here for this. But let's see what else the cards have to say for you. Okay, a bunch of cards came out for you guys. First up, we have Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. And I think this is saying that when you hit up against this stalemate energy, this kind of stuck feeling, not really sure what you're doing, I think you just need to kind of you need to look deeper at something. Now, this could be you looking more into certain aspects that might be helping you streamline some of this process, some of the daily grind that you might be experiencing that might be a little bit time consuming. There might be ways to streamline that. There might be certain programs or something in your life to make it a little easier. There might be time management techniques. So, and there might also be you actually, if you're feeling stuck, you might have to remind yourself why you started this in the first place. Because I think with the Fool, this is saying don't stop. This is definitely saying continue with this. But the Fool, what he's going to do is he's going to go on this journey, and he's going to hit up against all these obstacles, and then he's going to really learn if this is something that he wants to continue on or if he wants to go home. But I think this is saying that with whatever this is, I just feel like I feel like there's a lot of good energy with it, So I think this is saying that you need to kind of explore it further. That's what I would be saying with that. Now, you can live in the now. Now, this is saying minute by minute, step by step. So you just have to kind of don't get caught up, because I wonder for some of you if the Two of Swords and this Two of Wands energy, the reverse Two of Wands, is you getting caught up in the long-term results where you might still be at the beginning of something. I do that all the time. I start something and I want results tomorrow. Yeah, I really wanted them yesterday. I wanted them before I even thought of the idea, That's the way I am. But I know it's not how it is, one step at a time, one day at a time. I'm trying to remind myself that it's a daily thing, Taurus is not always easy. But I'm like that. I'm kind of impatient. I'm trying to learn patience and all this stuff. It's a work in progress. I'm not a perfect person. So, but I think this is saying that if you don't get caught up in the long-term stuff mentally, if you just focus on the little progresses that you're making now or certain things that you're doing now and actually enjoy the moment more, it might help you avoid this creative block, or this, whatever this represents, may not be as bad. So just live in the now. Now you have clock. Need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal, progress. Now, I really feel like this is saying that whatever this represents, it is going to take time, because especially the Fool is recommended. And I think this is also reminding you that you're at the beginning, or maybe you've been on this journey a little while, but it's still a journey. You're still on the journey with it. So I think this is saying that in all good time, that things take time, and just don't get caught up on certain aspects that you might not be receiving certain results right away because it's going to take some time. So I think that's just, especially because you got the live in the now too. And hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. Now, I really feel like this is going with the Knight of Pentacles because this is my guy, you know, the daily grind. Like, he's going to hammer it out. Like, every day he's there, he's like, he's working. So I think, and this is a card to me of repetitive actions as well. Like, the Knight of Wands, he's like super passionate, like he's super excited. Like, I really get this energy for myself a lot. I get really excited about something. I'm very passionate about it. Like, I love being in that energy. But as soon as I get to the Knight of Pentacles energy, which is what happens for me or most of us with after the Knight of Wands, it's figuring out the details, actually doing the mundane daily tasks that might be boring. It's not exciting. You know, he's not really exciting, but he's showing up and he's doing what he needs to do. So I think this is saying that you might be feeling a little bit, I don't want to say annoyed, but a little tired of certain repetitive tasks that might not be as glamorous. They're not as exciting. You know, anytime you're doing anything and it's long-term stuff, there's always the BS in between. You know, there's always like the repetitive things, the things that are not fun that you have to do, but you have to do those to get to what you want eventually. So I just think that you're working on it. Remind yourself you're working on it. And certain repetitive tasks you have to be persistent with, but there could be sometimes ways to reconfigure certain things. Now, mask, not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. So this is very interesting. So I wonder for the deep dive for some of you, if with this mask, not showing true feelings, hiding and pretending, I wonder if some of you need to kind of go a little bit further within yourself. Like, some of you, I don't want to say you're lying to yourself, but there might be certain things with the Two of Swords and the Two of Wands reversed, where you're kind of like getting in your head a little bit and getting a little bit like down on yourself or something, where whatever this represents might just take longer time, and you just need to be honest with yourself that, you know what, it is going to take time, and it's not like a fault of you. If whatever this represents is not going as quickly as you would like, it's probably just the process. But I know sometimes we start things and we expect to get like results tomorrow. Like I said, like that's me. But there's a whole process, and it's a process that takes time. So don't kind of trick yourself in a way. And don't even, because you got the hammer with here with the sabotage. Don't sabotage yourself, because I think whatever might actually be taking time. Because I wonder with this thing, I wonder if some of you, whatever you're doing, you might be seeing somebody else doing something similar or the same, and they might actually be getting very good results very quickly, and you might be getting a little frustrated, as like, why the hell isn't it working so great for me? But I wonder if some of these people, especially on the socials, it's all a bunch of BS. I think, you know, we could only hope that our lives could be as great as like some of the social media stuff that we see, you know? So I wonder if some of you might be getting a little bit frustrated because you could be seeing somebody else and they're claiming to have such success or such a forward progress with something, and you might not be achieving that. But I wonder if somebody else might be just full of BS, is what I'm kind of saying. You might not be seeing the full thing. Somebody might be putting on a good show or a good face with whatever, but it's not actually, it's just a show. So, because I honestly think that with this hammer here, this is just saying that you just need to keep on hammering it out, keep doing what you need to do. Now, let's see what else we get. We get playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful... Let me read that again. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Now, I think this is saying, I believe you're going into this few months very excited about something and you're doing it. You're really doing it. But I think maybe towards the end, you might be getting a little bit hiccups. You know, there might be little bumps in the road. There might be things not going as quickly as you want. But I think this is saying that you need to remain playful, because with the Fool being recommended, he's playful too. Like, all he has is like this little, I don't even know if this guy knows where the hell he's going. He's just going. He's about to walk off this cliff. He has his dog with him, and then he has his little like bag, and that's it. So he's not really prepared for anything. Like, what does he even have in the bag? He probably doesn't even have anything that really makes sense, you know? So, but he's playful. He's going to figure it out as he goes along, and he's kind of confident with himself. It might be a dumb confidence in a sense. I feel I really get that energy with him, but regardless, like, he's going to figure it out, you know? He's going to figure it out. So I think you just need to still be playful. Now, give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. And I think this is saying that whatever this is, you still need to give it a chance. You still need to work on it. Don't stop. So if you start to get into this little stalemate energy and maybe second guessing yourself, I think this is saying just you have to kind of continue on with it, and you have to be honest with yourself that, like, things take time. It is. Things just take time sometimes, you know? And then today I am glowing. Today I have huge amounts of energy and focus to take on any challenge. And I really think this is going with this Knight of Pentacles here, because he's if anybody needs that kind of affirmation, it's at this phase. It's when you get into this Knight of Pentacles energy where things are not as glamorous, things might be a little bit repetitive, they might be boring, they might suck, you don't feel like doing it, you got to wake up in the morning, you're like, I don't feel like doing this today. But I think this is saying that you just need to remind yourself that you can do it, you want to do it, and what you're doing is going to be productive and beneficial and make you happy in the long run. So now you also have ignorance makes you a tool to be used, knowledge makes you a weapon to be feared. Now, I really think that whatever this represents, I definitely feel like you can learn more about this situation. There might be something, like I said before, that helps streamline it. Because the Fool, he's going to wind up, he's going to find it out. You know what they say, F around and find out? He's going to be finding out, you know? He's going to be realizing he should have packed more stuff. But he's going to go on the journey. But by the time he gets to the world, he's really learned quite a bit about himself. He's really learned all the things that he needed. And then he's ready to begin a new journey again onto something else. So I think this is saying that when you hit up against this potential Two of Swords and this not really knowing how to proceed forward effectively, you need to try to start learning and figuring out other ways to kind of help you. I definitely think there's other things that you can be doing to help this Knight of Pentacles long term. Because you're still going to have to do these actions, but there might be ways to streamline them where they're not as boring or dull. There might be a better way about it. So, and let's see what Bob Ross has to say for you. You have, anytime you learn, you gain. And here's another card of learning. So I definitely think that there's going to be a way that you're going to be able to streamline this Knight of Pentacles a little bit. That's going to help you move past this indecision and not really knowing the next phase or the next step. So that's fantastic. Now let's see what Spirit of This shall be with you these few months. You have the Spirit of the White Knight, which is the spirit of the milk. And for your dinner and a movie, you have action films and Italian food. The energies that you either need to tap into or be aware of is you have two Aries. And this is all about that energy, initiative. It's a little about temper. Like this guy, the Knight of Wands is kind of like that Aries that, like, I'm confident I could do this. It's going to be great. Like, reality has not, like, set in yet with the Knight of Wands. Reality starts to set in with the Knight of Pentacles. That's where it's like, oh, this sucks. Gotta do this again, you know? Like, he's my, like, laundry and dishes kind of guy, you know? He's like, oh, it's like, I don't know. I feel like being an adult, all I ever do is troubleshoot laundry and dishes, and that's it. Like, that's it. I feel like that's my life. It's, like, constant. I feel like I grew up, and I remember playing Farmville on Facebook, and I feel like Farmville for adults is, like, the laundry and dishes. Instead of, like, having to get your little crops every day when, you know, harvest them, it's like we have to do laundry and dishes like every day. That's part of the stuff that's added on to all the other stuff we have to do. So I always feel that. But anyway, I think you need to kind of keep a little bit fun stuff. So there might be a way to do something to make it a little bit more fun for you. So I think that's what the Aries might be saying. That's like a roundabout way for me saying. I kind of went off on a tangent. Sorry, guys. Anyway. And you also have Venus here, which is about kind of the love, money, and powers of attraction. And then you have Jupiter, which is about expansion and good fortune. And I think this is you expanding on something. Whatever this represents for you, I think you're expanding, and I think it's going to really be good for you, because especially the Fool here being recommended, like, to me, he's extremely positive. He might be a little naive, but he's definitely going on a journey that is going to be growing his soul. It's going to be beneficial for him in some kind of way. So I think whatever this is, it's going to be very good for you, but you just need to figure out those little details. You have the 11th house, which represents originality, humanitarianism, connections, and creative ideas. And then you have the 12th house, which is all about occult, psychic abilities, and the subconscious. And you have the number 3 here, which is an odd number. So that means the special guest that will be answering your question today, Taurus, will be the Magic 8 Ball. Think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. Now let's see what else we get for you guys. You have O, C, S, F, Q, I, B, 451. And you have happiness. And I think that's great. So I wonder if some of this is going to be something that's going to make you happy in the long run, or this is just reminding you to just kind of inject a little happiness, a little of that playfulness as you go along. Let's see what little charmy we get for you. Okay, so I pulled out these two. So now, so this one came out, I pulled this one, and then the leaf jumped out. So the sheep, he's a sleepy sheep, this one. But he's kind of saying, follow your dreams. And I think he's also saying sometimes when you got to take a nap, you take a nap. Because sometimes when you have a little bit of a break from something, at least for me, I don't know about anybody else, but I know sometimes when I get really frustrated and I'm experiencing this Two of Swords energy, and even this Two of Wands reversed energy where I feel stuck, sometimes when I take a step back from it for a few days or a week or whatever, I come back actually better. So I don't know if that works for everybody, but for me, in a sense, I work out all those issues or those things by taking that break. So some of you, and taking a break doesn't mean you're stopping it. It just like means that you put it on pause for a second and you're going to like come back to it. The key is coming back to it though. But I think some of you might need to kind of either relax, because this guy, he's relaxed too. He's like sleepy. He's tired. It's bedtime for him. If you're feeling like a little stuck or whatever, maybe just, I don't want to say don't think of the situation, because certain situations, obviously, you can't just put them out of your mind. But if it's something that you can kind of take a minute, maybe take a minute, you know, especially because you got that time for a deep dive, you might need to reassess certain things and kind of go a little deeper. And maybe sometimes through that is just taking a step away from that if you are feeling blocked from this. And you also have the leaf here, which is about shedding things, right? So the leaves, you know, they grow and then they get shed. So you might have to shed certain things. Now, I wonder for some of you with the Knight of Pentacles here, sometimes when we get into these repetitive tasks, we do something a certain kind of way and it's like the way we do it. But sometimes I know with me, when I take a break from that and I come back to it later, like a week or so later, or even a month later, it's like I do it a different way, or I'm willing to try things in a different way. So I wonder if some of you might be getting burnt out from some of these repetitive tasks. And if you just take a minute, or if you try it in a different way, it might help you kind of refresh it. Because the leaf, like, you might have to shed old ways of doing things and regrow a new way, or new, like your new, I don't want to say structure, but new routine. Take that how that works for you. Okay. Now it is time. Here he is. Okay, Taurus, think of your questions and let us ask. Oh, mystical, magical 8 Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Taurus's question? It says, outlook good. There you guys go. The 8 Ball has spoken. I hope you all have a wonderful few months, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.